All right, folks, we'll go ahead and kick it off. And again, welcome everybody for joining our InfoSim Global Webinar Day. And again, today's topic is the treasure hunt is on, how to visualize the state of your network and service infrastructure to uncover the hidden treasures in your data. My name is Paul Kurczynski. I am one of the sales executives here in North America, and I will be your moderator for today's event. And joining us from the headquarters in Würzburg, Germany is my colleague, Harrrald Höhn. How are you doing, Harrrald?
Hi, thanks.
And as I understand it, you're going to be our captain for today's webinar. So I'm kind of curious, if you're the captain, what exactly does that make me? I know I'm a sales guy. I don't know if that makes me the stowaway or... Yeah, I'm sure some engineers could have some comments on that one. So anyhow, you're going to guide us through the treasure hunt in a live demo today. But first,
yes, sir.
Absolutely. We'll cover a couple of housekeeping items. Today's session is going to be muted, so it's in listen-only mode. Generally, we have a lot of folks attending these webinars. So if you do have a question, you want to raise your hand, go ahead and navigate down to the bottom of your GoToWebinar portal, and you'll see a Q&A window there. Go ahead and enter your question. I highly encourage you to try to stump Captain Harrrald Höhn here with any of your questions. And I will cover those questions at the end of the webinar, so we'll touch on those at the very end. And also for you folks that want to win an Amazon gift card, please be aware that this event will go ahead and distribute a questionnaire upon your exit from the event. So go ahead and answer that, and we'll take care of those 3 gift cards tomorrow. Also, please be aware that the session is being recorded. And again, tomorrow you will get notification of a link to the archive version so you can listen to it again. And I think that pretty much covers all the housekeeping stuff. So I will go ahead and turn it over to you, Captain.
Thank you, Paul. Let's do the right. Okay, I go to the agenda at the webinar today. So I want to show how to speed up your net flows with auto-generated weather maps, how to outline complex business processes to weather maps, and how to uncover the hidden treasure in your data. So I have prepared a lot of predefined weather maps to see how you can benefit from the weather map and how you can display and create your own weather maps like you want to see the status and the information of your network and your network devices. So first of all, it's no cumbersome to create some weather maps. So in StableNet, we have a lot of possibilities to generate automatically maps from our system. So it's no problem to do this automatically, and you can also add and modify this automatically maps how you to prefer and what you want to see and get the status and the map in such a case you want to see. So first of all, you have a lot of possibilities to change and do some things on the weather map. So the first is you can add elements, you can modify the elements with own icons, you can with this multiple device add, you can also add HTML links and so on. Then you have a lot of design elements. You can add text and borders with text and text within and without the borders to the map to group some elements you have added to the map. Then you can include images from an external web page. You can also add some predefined images to the map. You can also link elements to do inheritance and inherit the status to another device or another element in the map. And you can also modify, delete, and you can put some background images to view your own CI or your own background image to specify the map, what you want to show, and to specify the information in the map. So it's really easy to create your map like your own. So it's really easy. Then the first one, we have a lot of possibilities to auto-generate weather maps. The first one in the system is in the StableNet 7 version, we have the inventory, and in the inventory you get all information from a device which we read and discover the information during the discovery, and we have a possibility in the device information to generate a graph. This graph defines and shows all elements which are connected to the selected device at the moment. Though we have a selection combo box to include a neighbor level, and if you select the neighbor level 1, you see only the connected devices which are directly connected to the current selected device. If you select the neighborhood level or the neighbor level 2, then you see the connected devices and the devices which are connected to these devices, and so on. So you can raise this level, and you get, if you select a core router, you see all elements in the system and in your system which are connected to this device. If you have the correct graph, you can create from the graph with a button in the toolbox, in the toolbar on the top, can create the weather map automatically, and you don't have to search each element in the system and add it manually to the map. The second one is we have a service analyzer. If you select some default properties in the system to read maybe OSPF or MPLS information, then we get during the discovery, and we discover the information about this you have selected, and then we have the service analyzer which displays each information of these connections between devices. And if we discover some information, this information can be displayed in the service analyzer, and if you found some interesting thing we discovered, so you can also create the weather map for this graph automatically to our weather map theme. The third one is you can create inventory maps. So at the moment, all devices are positioned in a tree structure in StableNet. At the moment, so the most customers have the tree structure like Europe, Asia, America. Then in America, the country, not the countries, or yes, the country, so America and Canada maybe, then the cities in the country, and then the street or the buildings or what else. So if you choose here in this example Europe, you create automatically weather maps with all elements which are included to Europe. So in Europe at the moment, in this case, so in our example, we have Germany, United Kingdom and France as group, and then in Germany some cities where are the devices are located. And if you create the inventory maps automatically, you get the structure. You can you get drill down options to go to Europe. You go to Germany if you click with an control. If you press a control key on the left mouse button, so you can drill down and can go up. If you want, can navigate through this automatically created maps. We want to see it in the live session later, but this is a short overview here. So if you have automatically created maps in the system, you can also modify each element. So if you select one map in the system, Then you have in the top area here some elements where you can add the text elements or borders to group something to show all information in a better way. That the NOC or the people who have to work with a map have it easier to read it and get the status in a correct way. So you see, it's no magic. So you can use our auto generation for the maps, and then it is really easy to modify it and do it by your own way. So the last element what you have is to auto generate this weather map are we have some API. So you can use a servlet. This servlet is an URL call, and you can define in the URL all elements which should located and should be created in the map. And if you create a cron job, then you can do in a time period every day or once a day or every 3 hours to regenerate the maps in the system. And if some devices are new or new devices are available in some groups, then the devices and the elements will also appear in the new weather map. So that's for auto generation and update some maps which are should be updated in a time period. The other thing is our REST API. With REST API, you can, with XML calls and SOAP calls in XML format, you can add and modify specified maps. You can export and import it to another system, or you can delete weather maps with the REST API if you want or if weather maps are outdated and it should be deleted. Good. And for this, we want to find the hidden treasure of all the data, and therefore I have prepared some live demos to show what we can do with our weather maps. So first of all, I have talked about the auto generation. So I have here our demo devices in our router lab. And if I select here the neighbor level 1, I have selected here the Berlin device, and this Berlin device have 2 directly connected devices to it. And if I raise the neighbor level to 2, I see all devices which are connected to Stellus, and then all devices which are connected directly to the 2 directly connected devices. So I can move all elements to the correct position, and then I can create a weather map automatically for this element. So it's really easy. You can define a name. You can specify the user or the user groups which should be access to this map later in the system if it is generated. So at the moment I am administrator, so I have to not to set some group rights. I finish the map, and if I go to the weather map view, I see exactly the map which are created really very fast in our system. The next one is I go back to the inventory. We have the service analyzer. The service analyzer, you get all information about connectivity things and protocols in the system. I have here some spanning tree information. I go to the switch internal 2. I can also change the position of each element which are have found by the spanning tree information, and so I can create also a map. It's the same. And if I close the service analyzer, go back to the weather map, so and I can see here my very fast created weather map in the system. So, and the last possibility are without the URL calls and the REST API are the inventory maps. So here I will show a fast example. I go here to the tree structure for Office, our office have three defined groups in below there. So DHCP group, one employee group, and one for virtual machines. And now I want to create inventory maps for this office group and all below groups. Then I can do some name extension. I can say if I want to see traffic on connectivities and some other things. So I think it's in documentation, but for a short overview, it's okay if I press only the default settings here. And now I do finish. I get a question if I want to start the auto creation from the group office. So that is okay. And now I create really fast all maps which are available and with all elements which are in the office group. So if I go to the office element, I see here three groups which are defined in the office group, and with a control key and the left click I can switch to the virtual machines, and then I see all virtual machines which are available in the element. So the virtual machines have no connection to each other. I can save this, and with a control key and the left mouse button, you can go back to the office group and can back here in the employee group and go back, and so you have really an easy drill down through your whole system if you want, if you create it on the root element, and then you have a really nice option to work with it. You get the current status of each group, and you see what is the highest status in each group, and then you can drill down and can go to each group you want to see. Good. And now for this webinar, I have also created some examples how you can see what is possible with weather maps, and how can the weather maps look like if you do a little bit work and modify it in your own. So the first one, we see an overview, so a dashboard map. So you see you can also add every measurement and every analysis where you can get in, or every graph you can get in our analyzer. So we have here some examples, one pie chart and one normal chart for one element. And on the right side, you can also add pictures from an external website. So I have here added one weather map, a really weather map from America. So you see the current degree, and in the top right corner you see an image from Würzburg. It's a webcam, so it will be show the current view from Würzburg here. So this is always possible that you can add it to specify some additional information to these elements which are added to a weather map. The next thing is we have the possibility to create backgrounds. So you can add backgrounds. So I have here added one world map, and you can add elements with your own icon. So in this case we have do some pointers here, and you see the current status of pointers which are located on some countries here. So you can get a short overview over your whole system if you have worldwide, or you have some special settings here in some countries. The same, we have added also a world map, but in this case we don't have some status of some locations. So we have the status of a whole country, or a group of countries. So in this case, so we have added some own images. So you see I can move the whole Europe, or the whole American continent. So so you see a summary of the status of all elements which are located in America. And if I press the control button, I have also added a drill down function, and I can jump to America, and then I can get a status for Texas or for some other countries which are have a status in there, and there you can also drill down deeper if you want and if you have created this. So this is really easy. So you see very fast an overview over the status from a large company if you want. The third thing is I can also add a 3D building building picture from an office, and then you can include in each office the status of an office PC, and you see if some employees are in holiday or the device are booted at the moment or something else, so you see the status of the office if you want to see that in this case. Another thing is you can define your own services. So in service, if you, in this case, I have prepared some web service. I want to see if a web service is available for a company. So we have some load balancer. We have grouped some devices which have web servers on it, and I have created some derived rule. That means if I want always that 3 of these 4 devices have to run, then I get no problems. So I have a wiki device, or I have some database servers for the web server. So each service and each status can be inherited to each other, and then you get an overview in the web service here, and if something happened in the system, the status of the whole status of the web service changed, and then you get an overview that it is something broken with your service you have to display here. So the next thing is we have some own icons defined that you want to see more than one status on each or from one device on one position. So therefore you can define here some predefined icons which we can deliver, so you get later a little bit additional information about it, but you can also create now one element that shows 2 status of one device. So the first status is the availability of the device, and the second is in this case we have some Cisco memory measurement, and if the status of the Cisco memory changes, then you get here an alarm and get a different color like here. The same is possible for triangle, so to use a 4-state for one device. So it's no problem. You can define your own icons and import it here. In the option menu, we have an icon importer, and there you can include here. I get here my half circle here, and you see for OK it is green, for info alarm it's black, and marginal alarm, so you can define your own colors what you want to see, and this is really easy to create your own icons. The same like the shapes of some countries. So the shape of the Europe here, that's really easy. So if I select here, you see the colors of the shapes of the country, and this will be changed depending on the status which are available in the country. Okay, so other things is you can include some pictures of your Cisco switches. Here in this example, I have some Cisco switches here. You can display support status if someone is connected, if the port is operational down, administrative down, so you get a status of the switch which are available in your system or in your server room. The same is here. I have also added the status of the switch ports, And I have also added the connection to the devices which are connected to each port. So if I have added some connections and I go with a mouse through this connection, I get a default chart which displays the traffic from both interfaces on this connection during the last 2 hours. So this can be predefined if you want to see some other information, but you can see what happens on the interfaces and on the connection between the switch and the connected device. If you go to the device, you get some information about the device, and you can also work with it. You can jump to the measurements or something else. So it's really easy to work with such a map. The next example is I have also added here, if I get this, you see I have also added some pictures for the connectivity for the connection between the phones and the data switch. And if I go back here, I can go with the mouse to one of the line, press the right mouse and want to jump to measurement. So now I see the current measurement and I do a monitor alarm. So I will raise an alarm on this device. This will take 10 seconds or 15 seconds. So it should be created in the system and the database and so on. And if the status will be changed to red, it will be in a short time. Oh, come on. Now the alarm has been raised in the system, and if I reload the map, I get the new image where I can see, oh, the connectivity between the phone and the switch is broken, so you can define your own images in this case you want. So it's really easy to display different status, or not only elements and icons, so you can also display the connectivity and all other status in your own or with your own images. It's really easy. Then we have an example to view some net plans. So you can add it as background image. And if I go to the web, I see all the maps which have the same option, or which same option. You can also use the same elements here, and you see really the same elements also in the web. And if I go back to the elements, if I modify something, I can here define some web links to jump to a website which have some additional information about the current device. So if I go to the web, I can also show that I can open some status link, or here I see, oh, we have defined a web link. And if I open the web link, I get, if you have a wiki or a CMDB, you can have a direct link to the information for this device. So you get an additional information. This is a Cisco device. You can get the manual and download the manual, and you see maybe where it is located, in which server room and so on. So if you want to specify this in a wiki page or in an external page, which is or all information are defined in CMDB, so you can show it with one click in the system, and it's really easy to get this. And last but not least, to reference back to the topic, I have defined a last example for the weather maps, a little bit of fun map only for this webinar. So you can also include the same as a chip. So I have here realized the office or our development or all persons which are available here in the office. So I have added all development devices the bottom of the ship. So they development hates the sun, and so they have to go to the ship, so internship. So I have also added the salesperson to the sun area, to the sun deck. So they do nothing, and it's really fun. And the CEO is in the CEO devices are located in the launch, and really fun. Yeah, it's only for this webinar. So the secretary is located in the kitchen. So I think it's really a fun map, but you see what you can do, and if you have fantasy and you can have people who can create some own icons and have an idea, so you can really display all status and all information in your system. So be free to define your own system and your own status of the elements. Okay, so I think this was the last map I want to show. I think we are on the end. We have pre-defined and prepared some PDF files, but I think Paul will say some sentence about this. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Thank you for the audience, and I hope you enjoy the webinar.
Yeah, thank you, Harrrald. I'm just glad and relieved that the salespeople are actually on the sun area.
Yeah.
I figured we'd be in the brig or something. Anyhow, glad to hear that.
Yeah, sorry. So it's only for this webinar, and it's fun.
You know, I think somebody was poking some fun there. But we do have some questions. The first question was just around the presentation slides. Are they available? And the answer is yes. If you want to email me, just send me a quick email. I'll go ahead and add my email here to the chat window. And I'll send over a PDF version of the slide deck. And I did add, as Harrrald mentioned there, 2 documents to the handouts portion there of the GoToWebinar portal. So there's an icons and a weather map download for you to download. If you have trouble downloading it, again, just feel free to ping me and I'll send it over. So it does look like we have a couple questions for you here, Captain.
Yes.
First one, can I use the icons and images shown in today's webinar for my own StableNet setup?
Yes, sure. So we have I think in the handout we have a lot of defined and own created icons. All icons we see in the webinar, and some other things. So the shapes of the countries and so on. So this can be downloaded via zip. But I think at the moment you can't add some zip files to the data in the webinar. So I think the icons will be loaded on our server, and you get a link if you send an email, and you can use the icon and import it to your own system. It's no problem.
Okay, fair enough. And I think the next question for you kind of piggybacks the first one. Can I use different images from my own company?
Yes. So I go back to the system, and I have the possibility here to add some background images. And you see in this case I have added a background image like a ship, but you can also add your custom design on the background and do your own structure, and then you can looks like or you can do the maps look like your CI, which is defined for your company, so it's no problem.
Okay, perfect. That kind of rounds up the questions that we had posted. So really quick, if anybody has any additional questions, feel free to ping me via the email that I entered there in the chat window. And any other questions you may have, maybe not related to the web session today, but any of the questions related to StableNet, and I can definitely return those as they are sent in. So again, Captain Harrrald, thanks a lot for the presentation and live demo today.
Yeah, no problem, thanks.
All right, and you can go get some sleep since you are about 7 hours ahead there in Würzburg, Germany. And I also wanted to thank everybody for joining the session today. As I mentioned in the beginning, there will be a recording available. We'll send that out tomorrow. And make sure when you do exit the session today that you answer those questions that are referring to the hidden treasure question, referring to today's webinar, so you can enter a chance to win 3 of the gift cards that we're going to be distributing. So I guess on that note, thanks again, everybody. If you do have any questions here at the very end, Harrrald and I will keep the webinar open for about another minute or so, and then we'll close it up and we will exit. So again, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.